Good day, fellas. I hope you are ready for your extra daily dose of skill, and today we are going to show a couple of games with a 60 GFT. And I can tell you one thing, this vehicle had I had a mixed emotions with this vehicle, because I want to highlight one thing very quickly. This tank has epic gun. If you would pay attention at this gun, fellas, you would notice it has 180 alpha damage, which is very good. Penetration 145, excellent. Gold penetration 220. There is some tier 8 tanks which has less penetration than that with the standard shells. So everything is looking kind of fine, and accuracy is okay. But I can tell you one thing. If you are not having opportunity to use this gun, right? If you are not having the simply enemies who are making mistakes towards you, then you are going to have a bad time, and then you are not going to enjoy yourself. Anyways, I rated this vehicle in index page, right? I rated this vehicle as being playable, and I am going to keep rating in this way. It is playable tank, I cannot rate it higher, and just because of the lack of flexibility. But you will see 2 games when this tank will work ideally, okay? I can promise you that. Once again, quick highlight of the gun: 145mm penetration, 220mm penetration, and high explosives 43mm of penetration. All T67s, super Hellcats, light tanks. Every single of them will scream whenever they are going to see you. Anyways, it took quite a bit of games to mark this vehicle. It is slow for a tier 5 tank. It took 79 games with 1.3 thousand average damage and 300 assisting damage, and we got it up to 100%. So that was the best part of all this, right? And I couldn't wait until we will deal with this tank. And for now, let's teleport into the action, and believe me, those games are going to be pretty damn nice. So let's go. And we are teleporting into the very first game, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. And you are going to see I repeat, very interesting situation. Anyways, let's start from that. We are bottom tier, okay? It is already not looking very good, if you would ask me. But to be fair with you, whenever you are playing with a tank destroyers, and when you have a quite good DPM, quite good accuracy, and if enemies are making mistakes towards you, you don't really care, are you playing against the tier 6 being tier 5 or against the tier 4. Doesn't really matter if you cannot make pressure anyways. And if you would pay attention what is happening in the start of this battle, you would notice, yeah, we have like very interesting start. MX-12T decided to go into the middle, and he did a pretty damn smart decision. Our Type 64 is getting slaughtered, and MX-12T is spotting everyone. BDR is yelling, no! No! And Cover 2 is not learning from his friend mistakes, so yeah. This is not what you want to see in the very first battle of... This is not what you want to see in the first minute of the battle, okay? I want to be bloody honest with you. Anyways, luckily for us, ELC made a mistake, and now we are going to use our epic DPM for this guy, and luckily he is dead. We are sitting on the 300 damage, and when situation is looking like this, I can promise you one very simple thing. There is only one tool, and there is only one ability which you can use: patience. You are sitting in a very good position, and you are simply waiting until enemies are going to make one or another mistake. Like I said in intro, fellas, tank destroyers are the class with which you need to be the most patient with, in my humble opinion. Because with the tank destroyers, you can't make any pressure whatsoever. Especially with the tank destroyers like 60 GFT, unless situation is absolutely amazing, and you will see that in the second game. But now I don't want to spoil anything. So at this point, we are being simply patient. We are taking the red line, and we are saying, no, no, want to come here. Come, fellas, come. And here you go. T67 was impatient, and this is not the right way how to play with a T67 as well, right? So that's all we need to do, fellas. You need to know the positioning, right? You need to know the most broken or the best positions in the game, and you just simply need to wait. And speaking about the Lakeville as a map, there is quite a bit of bushes here. There is quite a bit of bushes here, maybe even bush here, or maybe even bush in front where you can actually behave and where you can do very, very bad things for the enemy forces. But I prefer this one. Although I'm not going to lie, nowadays people are getting way better at the game, so blind shots into this typical bush is happening very often. And one tip for you fellas: when you are sitting here or whenever you are playing here yourself, you can shoot from here to here and you can still hit the person. I had multiple hits whenever I managed to blind shot someone here. So keep this in mind, fellas. Anyways, once again, patience. We are 3 minutes 30 seconds into the battle and we have only 500. But fellas, I can promise you that there is a reason why I picked this replay for 60 GFT. And even though if I would play the live battles, I am pretty sure I would not get the performances we have in this game, and I would not be so lucky as I was there. And you will see everything yourself. And plus, on top of that, speaking about the tank destroyers, it's all about patience and it's all about sitting next to the red line in a way, right? And as you can see, I am kind of becoming impatient. Do I want to be the living crap out of that 12T? I don't want to. There is plenty of the tanks which never ever was spotted. E25, 3 kills by the way, Super Hellcat, T150, Ikea, Su-100, M10, T67. There is plenty of tanks who are not spotted. And now if you would pay attention, our Starwell lost his patience and he is taking one for the team. We are having high explosive ammunition loaded, and as I highlighted before, it is working extremely well against the tanks who has no armor whatsoever, for example Super Hellcat. And getting hit by the 60 GFT, it is pretty damn painful. 300 in the face, fellas, it is not an easy situation. Meanwhile, our team is still for some reason have a similar score in a way, 7-8, although there is a twist. Our team is losing by the 2000 hit points, and 2000 hit points, it is like quarter of the hit points of the matchmaking like this, or 1/5 of the HP. You get the point. It is not great situation. If in the tier 10 it doesn't matter that much, in the tier 5 it matters quite a lot. Okay, fellas, 5 minutes passed and now I am thinking about relocating, and I will explain you why. When the cover 1 is getting closer to us, this is becoming so much more dangerous, and there is a very, very nice bush or even forest which you can craft here. You need to knock all trees in front of you, and that's how you are going to have like literally humongous bush, right? And this humongous bush is working very, very well as a camo, and we will definitely get some use of it, and you will see everything yourself. But for now on, we are kind of busy, right, by knocking the trees down. As you can see, we still have one tree to deal with, but since MX-12T is being a bit more aggressive, I kind of want to have a great angle. And look at this, 301 in the face from the high explosives. Absolutely amazing. It is crazy what you can get and what you can do with a high explosive ammunition if you know what you are doing and you know what tank to shoot, if you know what I mean. Meanwhile, E25, extremely dangerous tank, got spotted. And let's get real, fellas, we do not have a tier 7 tank. Enemies have shit on of HP. T150 is full, and we have from the top tiers, we have only one tank, which is Super Hellcat. We have even Arta without keyboard whatsoever. So yeah, it is not looking that great, but it is how it is. I'm trying to eliminate the guns. I'm aiming for the light tank, and unfortunately I did not manage it to finish him off, which sucks, but it is how it is. He still have 7 HP left, but it doesn't really matter, because for me most important thing is to spot at this point for our team, and in the same time to punish enemies who will try to be way too aggressive. So for example, now at this point I'm waiting until the C25 will say, yep, I want to go. And as you can see, the C25 is overestimating his powers for sure, and we are using the double bush perfectly right here. I could not use this better. He's making as much pressure as he physically and possibly can, and he eliminated our super Hellcat. We are losing by 2 guns. Score is 10-12, but as you can see, we are pretty much saving the deficit, or making the deficit a bit smaller than it was before. Before we were losing by 2000 HP, now we are losing by 1000 HP. But once again, our Arta more likely will get slaughtered. We have T67 in the back, but this is not looking that great, and pay attention at this decision I am making here. I know more likely I'm going to get spotted by this cover 1 after I will shoot, but I am still waiting for a second. I know the 12T is in the back and he's going to start clipping us out. I know cover 1 will hit us once, but this is very important kill, because leaving the Su-100 alive, he can pretty much one-shot us, and this is not what I am looking for, and that's why I took such a humongous risk and I took so much damage in a way. Anyways, we have 2200 damage dealt, which is like literally 1/5 of our team hit points, right? Which is very, very nice for any bottom tier shitter. So this is a great performance. Our Arta single-handedly one-shotted Ikea. Well, have you ever heard the story, fellas, about Arta not doing any damage whatsoever? Yeah, that's what we have nowadays, right? In the same time, we cannot be too aggressive against this cover 1 for obvious reasons, but maybe we can build a nice angle, and we did. Beautiful. We eliminated cover 1 from the game. We are making sure we are not spotted, and we are not spotted, and now all we need to do, we need to wait until the 12T will try to escape, because obviously that makes sense. This gentleman will try to run for his life, and not today. It was absolutely amazing game, fellas. We have 2.2 thousand damage visible, but I can promise you that we have more than that, at least if I remember this correctly. And everything went absolutely amazing for this game. Anyways, let's teleport into the round 2 quickly. And we are back in action, fellas. So the second game is going to be a bit different. And in the second game, I want to highlight, even though you are playing with a tank destroyer, you kind of need to figure out when to make pressure if you want to have a very, very good game, right? So, without further ado, how we are going to start this battle? First things first, I want to take a typical position in the Juliet 7. It is very, very, very nice play, and I can play there usually with any tank, right? Well, apart heavy tank, obviously, because you don't really have a camo. So let's go. Yeah, the most annoying part, unfortunately, is to reach that position here, and it is taking quite a bit of time overall. So let's speed everything up. And look at this, this tank can actually drive a bit faster, right? I wish I could do the same thing in the real game. Unfortunately, this is not how the things are looking like. So, from this position, whenever you are going to the Juliet 7, from here you can behave like a spotter, and in the same time you can snipe from the back as well, if you are moving back enough so you are making pretty much double bushes, right? That's the most important thing for you, pretty much. And when you are sitting in the position, all you need to do, you need to relax, and you need to remember, I am playing with a tank destroyer. I am playing with a tank destroyer. That's what you need to remember. And I'm paying attention here, and I am seeing aha! Boogie is in the open field. Very, very nice. Maybe I can beat the living crap out of him. And obviously I am pushing a bit backwards, and I am checking it out. No, Boogie, are you in the open? And look how this tank is shredding. It is truly weird to see the Tier 5 Chinese tank destroyer who has such a great DPM and such a beautiful accuracy. When I played with this tank, I felt like this vehicle is absolutely in a way amazing, apart the whole platform, because you know you do not have any armor whatsoever, you are afraid of the derp guns, you are afraid of the artas, but whenever you have a chance to make some damage, right, whenever you have chance to shoot, you can have an absolutely amazing and kick-ass time. And in this game we are going to show as well how high explosives are looking like and everything, and at this point I am just waiting. Now, if you would pay attention for a second, you would notice everyone is spotted apart Skoda T24. So Skoda T24, he should sit somewhere here and maybe somewhere here in the back, right? That's what I am thinking about, but I am still not trying to make pressure because our team is losing by quite a bit of the hit points, okay? It is just tiny touch too early for that. And as you can see, I'm getting impatient, I am trying to move a bit, and I am thinking what is the best play for us in this situation, right? But once again, relax, take it easy, we have quite some time. Skoda is spotted, so the last gun is spotted. I know I do not really have an angle to this guy, and I notice a T67. Pay attention to the ammunition. Instantly loading high explosive ammunition for this T67, and now we are playing. Pay attention to the penetration. Kaboom in the face, 300. Now this T67, he is thinking, what the flying F was that? He got hit by the hammer and he is saying, okay, I'm going back to the garage. Skoda is saying thank you because we saved his ass in a way, and at this point we need to make pressure. Now, you see, if tank destroyer player is kind of afraid a bit to go in front and to push that W key, the tank destroyer player will finish the game with 1000 damage tops, because if enemies are not going to make pressure through the open field, and usually it is not the case, and usually enemies are not going so damn ham, right? Then your game is kind of over and your game is done, GG, finito. But in this kind of situation, I am saying, well, what do I have to lose? What do I have to lose? So I am just pushing as much as I physically and possibly can. And once again, remember what I said about this tank. This tank has an extremely good DPM. So look at this beauty, fellas. Cover 1, we are smacking him in the face for once, for twice. I am thinking, can we eliminate him from the game? And we should be able to. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. It is completely fine. Aiming for pixel shot. Luckily, we hit his engine deck, and now we are going to say hello for the Churchill 3. I'm very, very well aware of the cover 1 hitting us, but I am not too afraid. And look how fast we are changing the score from having, I repeat, 1000 damage to having like close to 3000 damage. And this is a tier 5, fellas. Those games are not happening on the daily basis, and not in every single game you are finishing like this. And now all we need to do, we need to find this Valiant, and we need to show the dominance for this guy. And Valiant is very, very slow vehicle, fellas. Valiant has no chance to escape, and at this point we are going to say, no, how are you doing, buddy? He managed to get bounced shot and he is dead. 2.8 thousand damage, 7 kills, and the main reason why we have a result like this, because we made pressure in time. That's the best part of all this. And game wasn't too close, honestly. It was 50-50 for most of the game, and that's the most important thing and the most beautiful thing. Anyways, let's teleport into the scoreboard, shall we? And we are back with a scoreboard. So the very first battle, Lakeville, you can say whatever you want, but we made this vehicle work. We have Ace and we have the Top Gun, very, very nice. We are finishing everything with 1.3 base experience and 300 assisting damage, and obviously 2.7 thousand damage dealt, and 39,000 profits, which is always nice and always welcome. And for a second game, we had the Save Heaven. We got ourselves the Top Gun, the high caliber, and Ace. We finished everything with 1.3 base experience and with 2.8 thousand damage, and obviously very, very nice profits of the 40,000, not including the mission. So fellas, you can say whatever you want, but I think we made 60 GFT work overall, and it was interesting journey. It was kind of bumpy ride. It was good, it was bad, it was good, it was bad, it was good, it was bad. In certain games I loved it, in certain games I hated it. It's just how it went. But if you are a big fan of the tank destroyers, I would highly recommend to check this vehicle out, and maybe you will enjoy yourself. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. That was your daily dose of skill, and skill is out. Peace.